Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope y'all are enjoying this Wednesday. It is an amazing Wednesday. Why is it amazing? Well, I don't necessarily have a reason for you, but it is because, well, I guess it's better to be positive than it is to be negative. So it's a great day. Hit the like button. Yeah, Astro Zombie is correct. Because today we're going to be talking about a couple things. Number one, the events we have going on, including the Klingon Road to Victory, which also could be Romulan Road to Victory. And then we will be discussing a poll that some of you might not be aware exists, because I believe they're only running it on Discord. I do not remember seeing it on the official Facebook page or the Twitter page, but a poll for the next officer that should be added to transporter patterns. Now, the one that should win and that probably will win is the one that I told them that y'all voted for over a year ago. Or right out of a year ago. It was January this year. I did that poll where like over 6,000 people voted and selected. But yeah, thank you, Lost Found. I thought it was the next one. So like from YouTube, I gave them a poll that 6,000 people participated in and said, hey, here's what people want. And, well, here we are. But it's fine. You know, we're not going to be salty about it. Why would we be salty about something like that? But we will discuss that today and go over, well, just in general, what we think that they can do to make things better by adding a certain officer. I've already got my officer picked. And I've already voted. You'll see my vote here in a second. But, well, when I can get it to find the Discord screen. Come on, pull up Discord. What are you doing? You lazy computer. It's a good day. You've gotten 55 and 56th Enterprise blueprints. Nice, Boxer. Nice. All right, there we go. And now I'm just pulling it up. Oh, wow, I have way too many DMs right now. Every day is a deluge of DMs. Every day is a deluge of DMs. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Over there. Transition. Bam. There's the poll that is currently up in the official Star Trek Fleet Command Discord. If y'all are curious, if you don't use the Discord, I know not everybody uses the Discord. It's surprising, but not everybody uses Discord, which is crazy. How do you not use Discord? Well, I mean, maybe you don't have time for it. I don't know. But anyway, this is the poll that's currently up. What's winning at the moment is 5 of 11, formerly known as 5 of 10. Followed by Epic Riker, and then 10 of 11. Now, the greatest troll job of ever would be for them to ask this and then give us all of them. I don't think that's happening. I can hope. But I don't think that's what's going to go down. But that's the poll that's currently up. And curious to see if... Oh, goes to Rev's DMs. Thank you, Gilly. I'm always happy when you slide in my DMs, Gilly. In fact, why are you not a mod here? Gilly, you're literally a moderator in the Discord. Why are you not a moderator here? Bam. Now you've got the moderator. Thank you for helping out. Saving up 27,000 Ultra Recruit tokens is a good thing. I have been saving up, and I went and spent a ton of Alliance credits and a few other things. And I'm going to leave this poll up on the screen because I want to get y'all's thoughts and opinions on it. But I am currently at... Let me see what I'm at. 105,000. 105,000. So, there we go. They'll eventually add them all. GM, I mean, I agree that they probably will eventually add them all, but how long is that going to take? The process for Scopely to add officers is probably one of the biggest issues left in the game. Their officer sourcing mechanisms. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can complain about, and we will continue to complain about because it's just what we do, and that's okay. But officer sourcing is definitely problematic for every player, whether you're a whale, because think about being a new player on your server. Look, and think about being a new whale. You're just going to blow tons of money trying to get through officers, and even then be stuck at level 39 and not have a lot because you are not able to easily procure a lot of officers. That's going to be problematic, I think, for a lot of people. So it's something that we continue to fight for, continue to push. Hey, Epi, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Always happy to see you. Happy holidays to everybody, by the way. It is almost that time. We are 10 days from Christmas. I will go ahead and let y'all know right now, because I know DJ's gonna be out with his family because he actually enjoys that type of stuff. I will be having a stream Christmas Eve on Twitch. If y'all want to come participate in that, if y'all are not on Twitch, recommend it. But I will be streaming Christmas Eve if y'all want to come hang out. But for the most part, I do encourage y'all to spend time with your families, your friends, enjoy the holiday season, and hopefully it's as good to you as I want it to be to me. I hope Christmas is great. There's several things I want for Christmas, and I better get them, because that's what Christmas is about. Presents. No, it's not. Okay. Your thoughts on the poll? Any thoughts on the poll? If y'all don't have thoughts on the poll, then we're not going to bother time thinking about thoughts on the poll. Any thoughts on the poll? Phillips is 5 of 10. Yeah. Maybe officer rotations for transporter patterns. Kramer, I see what you're thinking about. Calm down. I can ignore your ping to after stream. Did you just ping me? Did you ping me? Because I don't want to select any pings during... You must have pinged me in a channel. Because I don't want to change channels while I've got Discord pulled up. Why was a Picard one? Don't have that answer. I don't have that answer. I will say that I turned in our dev Q&A questions. I did turn in our dev Q&A questions. So we had 15 of them, and I believe we'll get all 15 answered. So we turned in 15 dev Q&A questions. Ivana says meh on the poll. Ivana is not excited. Ivana's like, no, not excited. No excitement. You know what? That's fair. That's completely fair. I have no argument against the lack of excitement. You voted 5 of 10 because I'm level 27 and Riker surely is 30 ops locked. Well, I would say Riker is good any level, but I feel like 5 is better. Riker is just an Armada card, whereas 5 of 10 is useful in PvP. 5 of 11 is useful in Armadas. And if you're a higher level player, gets used a lot in hostile grinding. So there's a lot of uses for that character card. Whereas Riker, as good as he is limited to one particular function. So Riker's locked in the Ultra Chest for 30. Oh, that's what they meant, Alzbeta. If any reason, that should be to vote for Riker if you believe he's level locked, or he is level locked for you. Here, I'm going to rotate that on out. There we go. There we go. Oh man, I got a sneeze caught in my nose. That's not good. That's bad. Oh, it won't get out. Now there's something in my eye. What is going on with my body? Do you think they will do an arc of the new show in the future, like Picard, Strange New World, Section 31? Yes, I do, Jason. They actually already did Star Trek Discovery, obviously, and Discovery just started season 4. I said this the other night, which I actually want to share this with y'all. I would really be curious to see how much y'all agree or disagree. But if you have not watched Discovery either ever, or you've not watched it since season 1, where I felt like season 1 was not a good season, I'd encourage you to check it out again. Just for a quick reference, this is what we had 150 people on Twitch, and we voted what the top Star Trek series were by tier. So not necessarily saying which was better than the other, but by ranking them in terms of watchability, going back and rewatching it, how good is it? And Discovery scores a lot higher than people generally think it does, because season 1, while being awful, season 3 and season 4 have been incredible. So, my opinion. So I'm real curious to see that. But yes, short answer, we've already gotten series for that. I think we'll get something for Picard. I can't say what, but the new season of Picard should start at the beginning of this upcoming year. And I am always pushing them for stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lower Decks ends up finding a way into the game somehow, some way. Your favorite Star Trek series was when the Wookiees kick butts on Endor. Yes, GM. That's awesome. My favorite Star Trek series is where Gandalf rescues Harry and they go to Mordor and get rid of the ring. So, any new upgrade coming for USS Discovery? Not that I'm aware of, Aditya. Not that I'm aware of. Kramer, to be honest, I think asking the game to do rotations is asking them to add in too much work, and they're going to screw it up. No, not meant to be offensive to the janitors and what they do, but asking them to put in a rotation system for transporter patterns just feels like it's going to get ignored and left alone, and like it works for the first 3 weeks and then they stop messing with it. I just want everything to be available. I don't want it to be on a rotation system. I don't like that idea personally. Now, if 180 of y'all who are watching right now go, yes, I want a rotation system, then I'll just be like, all right, they said they wanted this, but you're not sure you want Lower Decks in the game? Well, I disagree with you. I love Lower Decks. Yeah, the original territory capture intended. I actually like the recent changes to territory capture, but yeah, it's definitely not what it was promised to be. Voyager's last. I'm not surprised at all, Mark. Voyager has just horrible writing. Great characters, but horrible writing. Good morning. You received your battle pass. Great. Everybody who won from all the giveaways from all the content creators should have their battle pass. But have you ever been fully rated? So you're asking, have I been vaulted? So David, we would call that being vaulted. Yes, I have been vaulted, but I've not been vaulted in a very long time. Probably early 2020 is the last time I was vaulted. On my main account anyway. My secondary accounts get vaulted all the time because I don't worry about shielding them. I'm just there to track how the game has changed and how it progresses. Just want the game to work, not nice. Any word on ship mat upgrade bug fix? No. I know what you're talking about though, Kindness. You have quit the game on a level 49 account. Are you interested in having the account for your channel? Kevin, probably not something you should ask publicly because technically that's against terms of service and that account will get banned. However, I am curious in you sticking around on that account to show me information and videos from that account. But yeah, remember, sharing accounts is against TOS and we'll get the account banned. I do love you though, Kevin. Hello, Laromi. How are you doing? You know, if it's good morning where you are, then good morning. If it's good afternoon, then good afternoon. Zero says, wink, wink. Nod, nod. Keys, keys. Yeah, whatever works. Oh, man. I hear people on my server talking about an issue with 12-hour shields. They treat that. Big Smiley, it ain't 12-hour shields, buddy. It's all the shields. All shields have potential issues. And the potential issue is this. It's existed. I've even made a video about it. The issue is that if you leave a miner out overnight, technically it can happen at any time, but it's most likely going to happen overnight. If you were to leave a miner out, there is the potential for when you get attacked for the game to freak out and think that you attacked who's attacking you. So what customer support sees is you attacking with your miner an attack ship on a node. So they're never going to, very rarely will they fix it. If you fight them on it, they'll compensate you. But the issue is not just with 12-hour shields. It is with all shields. It is not happening at all the time, and it's a very low chance of it happening, but every now and then the game freaks out and thinks that you attacked while you're on a node, and that's how you get the problem. And it's not only Barrett that causes problems, Ivana. It's not only Barrett. There's a lot of rumors that go around with this, and because it happens all the time, and it's so tough to track because it's inconsistent on how it happens. But how it happens is you're out mining and the game goes, whoa! And that's how it happens. You talk about how to get beyond getting royally rated because of shield drop. Shield, Douglas. You get 24 hours of shields every day, and I spend most of my alliance credits on shields. So every night, one, I don't mine over the night. I do not mine overnight. Very rarely will I do that. If I do it, I'm doing it in like faction space, or I'm sorry, territory space. And then I buy one-day shields. Not with money, but I buy one-day shields with the alliance credits. And that's another reason that I've always stressed for years to be in a top alliance, because you want those alliance credits. Right now, and I've spent some because I was going through officer tokens, but I am currently sitting on, let's see how many I've got. 3,000. Which is enough for what, 32. I've got enough for 32 one-day shields. I'm always doing, I launch one-day shields. That way, if I don't wake up in 12 hours or I have to go to work and I don't have time to check it, I'm always shielded when I need to be. So that is the best way. And saying shield or share is rough, but I will say that the game has made improvements in that regard, because there was a time where you only got 16 hours of shields a day. You only got 16 hours of shields a day. Now you get 24-hour shields a day. And if you've lost it, the best thing I can say, Douglas, is get out there and raid. Get out there and raid. Especially if you have Borg Stan and regular Stan. And if you're level 34, if you have both of those cards, you can easily be drawing in 5 million a haul. 5 million a haul. So that's the key. And then a lot of the events now pay out so many tokens. You know, it's difficult for everybody. I'm not trying to say it's easy, but if you get vaulted, you got to go out there and raid and recoup what you lost. The good news is A lot of important stuff cannot be vaulted. They can't take your uncommons. They can't take your ISO emulsion. They can't take your ISO resin. They can't take your tetrions. So everything that can be taken can be regained, and events are paying out a ridiculous amount right now. And we have a very nice payout in terms of raw and tokens. And then there's probably more ability to raid now than there was a year ago. Because they've increased the economy so much, people are getting so many resources, especially raw resources. There's generally raid targets on every server. You just might have to go looking for them. All right, let me do this real quick. Got to pull my ore, mainly because I need the uncommons, but got to pull the ore. Got to go through all these. If I don't, I'll forget about it. Do you know if they have any plans on fixing the PC version constantly crashing? Have to go back to playing on LD player. Wow. Well, I don't have that issue, Sean. Have you run a repair? There is an option on the launcher. If you go to options, you can run a repair, because I don't have that on any of my PCs. I'm on Windows 10. If you're having an issue, I would encourage you to try the repair button and see if that helps. If not, hit me up and describe what's exactly going on. I could try to push it to the dev team. Shahid, I never max pull mats because it's not efficient. Your launcher won't even start. You definitely need to uninstall and reinstall. Uninstall, reboot the computer, reinstall, see if that helps. Is there an issue with the enemy and friendly tags not showing? No, but that would be a client to server issue, like your client to the game. And I'm not sure what would be causing that. Andrew, thanks for signing to be a cadet, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Anybody who supports the channel is loved here. If y'all do want to support, it's not required, but hey, it definitely helps out. There's PayPal, there's Discord. Discord just so you can join and hang out with us more. PayPal if you want to help support the new baby and the house fund. So it's rare but annoying, but crashes the rest of the time. I will say the only time I've had issues with mine crashing is when I leave it up for a very long time. Like 12, 14-hour sessions. And then it becomes a memory issue, like a cascade memory failure. But that's not super common. Move partials and alliances will move in PvP. You mean move particles? Well, at the same time, I don't know if they want to do that because they're going to make a lot of people mad if they move all the particles. So you only play full screen if you resize to get issues with switching screens like opening chest. Okay. I use a windowed screen. I never use full screen. So, okay. It's good to get this feedback though. And I'm assuming, and please don't take this as me calling you stupid or anything, but I'm assuming you've put in tickets and waited for a response from them. Ooh, got to do a Latinum pull? I forgot I mined Latinum for the Klingon Rights event. Heck yeah. Oop. There we go. All right, now I need to go. Well, I'm multitasking, y'all. I got to go over here and do worms because every year, or every month, we got to go do worms, apparently. We got to attack worms. You have the territory where you can get the Jelly BP. How do you pull them? So, it's called a service. You have to have a 3-star service in territories. And what you would do is you'd go to your territory tab. Now, your alliance has to pay for the service to be active. And my alliance currently is, if you pay for the service to be active, here are your options. 1 shard, 6,500, 5 shards, 4,500, and then 15 shards, 500,000 ISO emulsion. And then there's a cooldown of that lasts several days. But this is how you do it. You have to have your alliance activate the service in their territory menu, and then you would go through and buy how many that you could at that particular time, understanding that there is a cooldown. Like all good things, there's a cooldown. The new customer support tree is a pain. Not sure what you're referring to. Customer support is nearly useless? No, I wouldn't say that. Customer support now is worlds better than it was in the beginning. There's obviously going to continue to be some frustrations because there's some policies that Scopely themselves set up that customer support just simply can't get around. That's annoying. But I really don't have as much angst against customer support as I did before. I really don't. I still get frustrated with them for certain things, like them not refunding somebody resources for a proven game glitch and it taking several, like with any customer support, it depends on what agent you're getting. I feel like some agents are much more helpful than other agents. And I think that's true for all customer support. But I would argue that customer support is better. Maybe not good, but better. And hey, Tenacious, good to see you. You had problems running the PC version with the mod. You deleted the mod and it started working again. Yeah, the mod served its purpose. Like Ripper's mod served its purpose already. I mean, there's still a couple of functions that it has that people would find useful. But for the most part, that's not even a project Ripper's really focused on. It's not even really working on that, so. A lot of things they have done make people mad. Doesn't stop them. That jelly perk is a prime example of one that should rotate it weekly, so the same well alliance can't sit on the TC permanently. Funis, once again, I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that being the most powerful means something. And there are, in the game right now, 6 3-star places where you can get jelly BPs. 6 of them. Every 3-star has the jelly service now, based on feedback. Everybody can get a jelly. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. One well alliance cannot control the board. That's the good thing about territories is there's so many. One well alliance can't control the board. Ripper's mod is it TOS compliant? It's not officially supported, but Ripper works with them as closely as I do. In some ways, Ripper works with them closer than I do. So yeah, it's fine. They're not going to get you for it. Now, if you have a problem with your game and you're using a modded version, that is a reason for them to not help you. Funis, no, that's not the reasoning, dude. It's just the whole whales control everything is such a silly argument because they can't. It's impossible. They simply cannot control all the territories. And if you don't have the territories, then you need to be in an alliance that does. Maybe your alliance just isn't good enough. And I dislike this thought process that comes around that all alliances should be on equal footing. No, stronger alliances should have better benefits. That's what makes them stronger and better. I don't think that everybody should be on this equal footing. You have six territories that give out the jelly service. No. At most, a well alliance can control 2. At most, they can control 2. And they're going to control 2 to their detriment. Like, if you were to control, like, if you wanted to do Tholus to Neomir, you're hurting yourself because you can't get as many particles. You missed the final milestones for the VP yesterday. Will that leave me short for the heroic? Yes, it will, Mark. Yeah, it will. Now, we have given feedback based on an event where I think that they're going to have some extra that comes through. But as of now, that would leave you short. We need to see if they're going to give some extra BP points, though. I think they will. Thanks, Jason. I'll check it out after the stream. You know, if I can use an auto clicker to contribute to Alliance? No, that would be against terms of service, Edwin. That'd be against terms of service. So if you do that, don't tell me, don't tell anybody about it, and don't tell Scopely. One, don't do it. But if you are going to do it, definitely don't ask about it. Y'all says the BP overflow being so tight kind of sucks. But that's the point. Like, the battle pass is made to give you a little bit of breathing room for you to complete it. But the overflow is for those who are dedicated every single day. Hey, Beck, good to see you. The overflow is for those who are dedicated every single day. So I want it to be as crisp as possible. I want it to be like you literally had to be there every day because that's what it's for. Also, y'all don't let me forget. I got to go do these new missions. I got to go do the missions. I've been slacking. I got to do the missions before they wrap up. Where is it real quick? It's not Machinations, is it? I don't think it's Machinations. What's the mission? I don't remember the oh, Galaxy at War. There it is. Duh. My son just come and waved at you? Oh, well. Hey, Pegasus' son. And I'm sure you don't call your dad Pegasus, but your dad's real cool, okay? A famous YouTuber says your dad's cool. Go tell your friends at school. That rhymed. Because I'm cool. Yeah. Ticket events are coming. You're correct, Paul. They are. Did somebody say they weren't? Was there like a no they aren't in the chat that I missed? How do I locate the captain scores in my Discord? Richard, it is a supporters only channel. So those who have donated to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. And if you have, you just have to send proof to myself or a moderator. Honestly, preferably a moderator because they're able to handle it quicker. And if you show proof, they'll give you the role and you get access to the special room. Yeah, Beck, it is kind of like school. You're talking about jumping into an MMO that's been out 3 years. Mihai, yes, I believe so. But that's only going to stop you from getting rewards. The kill should still count. The kill should still count. But you're not going to get any more rewards past 1,500. If that's what you're referring to. When are we likely to see rare tickets? Not. I would be surprised if rare tickets come back. I mean, that was such a big flop. I'm not saying they won't, but I'll be surprised if rare tickets come back. It can happen. I just don't believe it's going to happen, but it can. I've been wrong before. It happens like once a day. How do I locate a moderator? So any moderator in my Discord has a blue name. Blue name. Not like the light blue, but like blue. Like Gilly, Ice Glow, Lost and Found, some of the moderators, Man of War, all those are moderators. I'm gonna need y'all to spawn some more Explorer class worms, please. I think the previous commander was trying to say, well, alliances may not be able to control all zones in terms of occupation, but they can certainly dictate who has what by supporting or attacking. Sure, guy, but that's true for anybody. Just like there are servers that have coalitions of non-whale alliances, 8-10 non-whale alliances, who beat the whales in territory every go-around. That's on your server to find a way to make that happen. That's not, I mean, the biggest thing that matters in territories is numbers, not types of ship. It is stronger for you to have 200 Rialtas than it is for you to have 20 Pilums or 20 Corvuses. 200 Rialtas is stronger than 20 Corvuses. It comes down to how well you have built those relationships in your own server for whether or not you can combat those big, massive alliances. So that happens on server 17. Our Whale Alliance pushed out 2 others out of TC. And that's why you have to come together as a group with coalitions and stuff and beat them with numbers. And that's what works. I mean, that has worked for so many different servers where if the Whale Alliance stands on its own, they consistently lose. What are your thoughts on territory, ISO Armadas, protected area? I think, one, Brian, I think row is stupid. Always have. I have several videos about it. I'm not going to tell grown people how to play video games. Second of all, everything's free game. That doesn't mean that there's no repercussions, though. If you go attack somebody's armada in territory, don't be surprised if they lash out and punch you in the face with their ships. Welcome to MMOs. Now, personally, I think everything's fair game, but I also am willing to accept the consequences of those actions. Nice, Random Raider Rambler. Nice. Exactly, Robert. A Corvus is useless if you bomb it with a Rialta. TC has been so beneficial. More alliances teaming up, and you get to alliance hop and get to know more people. Very happy with TC. There you go, Frederick. Yeah. There you go. And remember that your opinion of parts of the game is going to be heavily influenced by your individual server. You know, my opinion as a content creator is influenced by my experiences on server 20, 32, 43, 51, 63, 189, 65. Gosh, what other servers have I been on? I've been on several servers. I mean, I have played all over the place, but my opinion has been built on how I've played and what I've found works. But to be honest, and this is true, and I tell everybody this, everything that I preach sometimes doesn't work everywhere. Like my stance against row, my rules of engagement are very simple. If there ain't no loot involved for a miner, I don't touch it. No loot, don't shoot. Any warship is fair game. Very basic stuff. That doesn't work everywhere. Doesn't work everywhere. How many phones do you have? At one point, I was playing at any given time on 5 different phones, but now I mostly just use emulators. So I don't think that Scope is going to come after me for not having an individual device because I'm their biggest content creator for this game anyway. Coalitions for Territories is a true stress test on the game. The contested territories often break the game with lag and locked out systems. It's insanity, it's fun, and frustrating at the same time. Agreed, Laromi. Yeah, and I'm definitely not trying to say that Scopely doesn't have a lot of things that they can make better about territories. 100% they do. Territories have a lot of problems, like lag, which is better, but still problematic. Oh God, Jolie Nivicia, please leave me alone. I don't have time to be dealing with PvP. I'm just trying to kill my worms. I'm literally just trying to kill some worms, fam. Let's keep the PvP and the war to a minimum at the moment. No loot, don't shoot. Shield or share. OPC is OPC. I mean, simple rules like that. I am a firm believer in the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. The more rules you put on people, the worse you make the game. That is a firm belief that I have. I also realize that not everybody agrees with that. That's fine. And you do not have to play how I play. Just got the jelly to tier 4. What should I upgrade first? Weapons or defense? I always typically recommend, because it's mostly a hostile grinder, that you do armor and stuff first. Whatever's going to increase your whole health, that's what I would focus on first. Eric, if you have a tier 6 enterprise and auger and you've done the researches, the efficiency researches to the max of that level, then yes, I would say push to 39. Funis, once again, don't agree. They say rows should be mentioned when you install the game as a new player, and even selection of PvP or roleplay server based on their row. Don't agree, not at all, because this game does not support row, nor does it care about row. Those are social constructs created by the players in that particular server. That's for you to enjoy, decide, and contribute to. Scopely does not endorse nor do anything about row, nor do they care about it. They're just like me. They think it's stupid. So no, I don't think that should exist. Row comes with Discord. Kenny, there's some truth to that. There's truth to that. And look, there are servers where row works. I've yet to find a server that it lasted for 3 years and that row just worked for 3 years. There's always, because the game changes, things change. But our server's only 2 months old and people are already arguing about it. It happens every new server. And just to be completely frank with all of y'all, if you are a new player in the game, you have very little reason to even need a row. Like, row started in Star Trek Fleet Command because back in the day, there were less nodes than you have now. There are over 1,000 3-star nodes now. There were a couple hundred 3-star nodes in the beginning. And the problem in the beginning was you had broken nodes. 60 to 70% of any node type could be broken at any given time and stayed broken. They did not get refreshed for months. So row was created on most early servers because if you did not create a system to allow people to mine, then you would not have a game. Mining, the refinery was actually important back then because as awful as the refinery was, it was the best way to get uncommons back then. It's not true anymore. One, there's a crap ton more nodes and there are over 1,000 3-star nodes now of each type. So that problem's gone. Two, the game pays out rewards in events now. They do not give uncommons through the focus of the refinery. They give it through the events. So the main reasons for row existing in the first place are gone. Now row is mainly about what annoys you. And if you don't want to be annoyed or not in the game. And that's fine. If you get 1,000 people to agree, hey, I don't want to be annoyed by this, cool, do whatever. But the reasons that row was created no longer even exist in Star Trek Fleet Command. And if y'all want to have your rules, that's fine. That's cool. Just the arguments that spout out from this just they're more trouble than they're worth. You know what I mean? Row is ridiculous. Should play the way the game is designed. Row already in the mechanics of the game. Just play with respect and ethics. And see, that's what I feel, Shireel. You should really just respect each other. And if you do that, you do those basics, you'll probably be fine. Sanders says a video about the good old days. Well, let me say this. I am not saying the good old days. Not at all. I'm not saying. No, the game is way better now. Way better now. So let's not word it the good old days. But, I mean, it has changed a drastic amount. What I might do is I might do a video in January. I might pull up my first ever Star Trek Fleet Command video, which I think was February 2019. And on the 3-year anniversary of that video, I might make a video talking about that video and how things are different in the game and what's changed. That might be a fun video to do. The problem is you get those people that lack those ethics, which is fine, Nathan, because, hey, that's how the real world works. Not everybody agrees on the same moral stances and ethics. That's just how things are. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if the world can't agree on basic things like, you know, healthcare, you know, things like that. Not to get political, but if you can't agree on what I consider basic things, then how are you going to agree on video games where there is no reason to agree anyway? The only rules are the ones set by the game. Man, we are getting a lot of red reticles. I feel like I'm going to get popped. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. We had an alliance that we are at war with trying to claim, Ro? What do you mean, Zero? That's when we have laws and enforcement? Sure. And hey, that's the good thing about servers. You can set that up. There have been a couple servers that I know that have groups that actively enforce their row. Like as far as they'll ban people from Discord for X amount of time, they'll make a server-wide announcement saying that this player cannot be in any alliance because they are a breaker of row. You know, there are some servers that enforce their row to that degree, and that's fine if it works for them. There you go, Lost Soul. That's a great one. I miss my rating videos. Sadly, not enough people enjoy rating videos, but I need to make some rating videos for sure. Oh man, Uno's rules are wrong. Uno's rules are wrong. Yeah. We were at war and we hit them and they were complaining we were breaking row. Well, yeah, if you're at war, row doesn't exist. That's the whole point of war. Why would you complain about row in war? Oh, I don't need to kill any more worms. I'm done. Get out of here, fam. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and go do our dailies. You're already half dead anyway. Even alliances that harbor row violators here get the whole alliance flag server-wide KOS. Yeah, and maybe that works for y'all, Funas. For me, that hurts the server more than it helps. But that's just my opinion. Server 12's row adjusts with the game growth, but rule number that will never change is don't be a phallic object. Yes, agreed. Rating videos were my teacher when I started this game. It's the reason my rating love is so strong. I still love rating. I really do. Just the act of going out and getting it in is so much fun. Phrasing. It's just not as needed as it used to be, which is sad, but it's true, and I don't want to lie about it. It's not as needed as it used to be. Joseph, I do like that idea that if you get the marking of war declared on you, you should be able to see it. I agree with that. I agree with that. Ooh, what do I need? That shield. What kind of shield is that? Oh, a 4-hour one? Screw that. If that's a 1-day shield, I'll go for that. What do you think of the Klingon Rights event so far? Well, I made a video about it yesterday. I love it. I love Klingon Rights. I love that they made a 4-day event because now it's during the holidays. They're giving you time to complete it. And honestly, I felt all the milestones for everybody are pretty easy to complete. I still need to do unification. I forgot to do that after I made yesterday's video, but... So I agree. Well, I think that Klingon Rights is a really good event structure. I love the step-by-step events. Like the ones they'll come out with is like, do these 10 different things, but you don't know what it is until you get to the next one. So... Now for my weekly ask, when will we be getting the vengeance? Never. But I agree with you. And I did ask them, one of the dev questions is about 3-star and 4-star common ships. The research portion is insane. Some do not have any research available at their levels. I don't agree, Gabriel. It's for research. Yes, if you get stuck because you don't have it, that does suck. But it's really difficult to not have a research to do unless you are a spender. Unless you are a spender, it is very difficult to not have a research to do, with the exception is if you're like level 19 through 22-ish and below. Everybody should have something to do in their research teams. What's your recommended video to show brand new players? Tanner, that's a tough one because I have so many. I do still have a video that's about levels 1 through 30 that's still semi-relevant, but it honestly needs to be redone. It needs to be redone. Planning to skip the 4-star and common ships and go to the Pilum. What recommended level should my ISS Jelly be to carry me 4 through 46? If you're going to be using it for hostile farming, which I assume you are, tier 7-ish would help you healthily do all your hostile grinding. maybe tier 8 if you want to go just a little bit easier and a little bit deeper. New players should see the dual faction video. I agree with that. Yeah, new players should definitely dual faction grind. Yeah, dual faction is so huge, and so many new players don't do it. So, I have to recall this in a bit. Raiding is fun, but utterly pointless. The game pays enough to progress, and by that time, it's no longer true. Well, once again, I in some instances, I disagree with people, and I disagree there because raiding is still very important for me for the resource on the far right, dilithium. I need so much from my researches that my events don't always pay me out as much as I need. So I do typically need the... Ooh, a Klingon scout. It's going to not pay anything. I'm going to kill it. But I typically do need to raid for dilithium. I don't need to raid for parsteel because of the events, but I do generally need to raid for dilithium. And sometimes even titanium. Dave, my advice for the level 42 ships, and should you skip them, is based on how long you think you'll be there. If it's going to take you 6 months, 6 to 8 months or less to get to level 46, then you don't need 42s. If it's going to take you 6 to 8 months or more to get to level 46, then yes, go ahead and get the 42s. You can use them. They'll be fun and give you something to do. Let's see how many messages this scout gives me. Anybody want to put a bet down for how many messages I get from a level 33 scout? You have all 3 factions locked, but I don't recommend going for it until you have a Warp 50 battleship. The lowest level, 4, 8, 5, 4, 7. Lots of 4s. I love the predictions. All right, David, I'm not getting 40 or 60. Come on, y'all are getting crazy. All right, let's hit the claim, see what we get. And 8! Hey! I think we only had one person say 8. We had 2. Mark and Sean voted 8. Hey, Mark, y'all had a good guess there. Good job, y'all. We got 8. What do you freaking do? I learned the mistake of going Fed celebrated too early. It ups your dailies to a level I can't reach. 4-star and level 40 hostiles. Yep. That's why at level 39, I kept mine low. Now, because I'm power leveling so fast now into the 40s, it means I've got to really, really do more rep grinding, which I'll admit my rep is behind where it should be because I've not been grinding as much every day as I should. But I should be admired already. I need to actually already be to esteemed. But I got to get to commended before I can build the Valdor. But I'm going to do that by January. Even if I just sit here and that's all I do one night. Is hit my 1500 and then I do it another day and then I do it another day. So. With all the spinners and collectors that play the game, why don't they just add ships like the Vengeance, Oberth, Miranda, etc.? Well, they'd have to make them, Jedi. They'd have to make the models and everything. And the company sees that as man hours. And do they want to make that and do that? Obviously, I'm going to say yes, they should. 100% agree that they should. But mainly, they only focus on making new content for the new arcs, not just stuff for pure collectors. I do think that's a missed opportunity, though. And I will continue to encourage they do stuff like that. I will. The higher you go, raiding takes too long for whales. It does, Richard. They made it a lot easier with the Nova. I mean, the Nova can be one-shot a lot of bases for 20, 30 million at a time. And if you're doing that amounts, you know, then you're doing 50 hits equals a billion type deal. You know, it's a lot. So it depends on where you're at. Now, the 40s, it's tough to raid in the 40s, even with Borgstan, because you're honestly not getting that much. You're honestly not getting that much with the 4-star miners. So you have a tier 4 D4 and I am managing just fine, being 30 million away from locking Fed. Nice. Good job. Nice. Will Scopely fix the server 61 Jelly Summit event? On our server, only gets 1 first place and 2 through 5 get no BPs. I don't necessarily know if that's a fix, Dave. I don't know why they do that. I've asked them before and gotten no response. Well, got a non-answer. My server doesn't do it that way. I don't know if it's a server age thing that determines how they load that out, but I do think it sucks for those servers that don't have it. Armadas need a launch now button. Never happening, Gabriel. And I actually don't support it at all. But even if I did support it, I know it's never happening. So, but mostly the new servers I'll see, the newer EU servers, the newer US servers only get 1 winner in the Jelly event, which I do strongly dislike. Strongly dislike that. In this arc, have you seen more rating or less? I would say that since Biotics came out, there's been a lot more rating. And since the past month has been paying out a lot more resources, has been more rating. But rating is still not a focus for a lot of people, which is understandable. So here are the additional events. Your Jelly Pursuit is, the next one is the 18th and the 19th. 18th and the 19th is the next time you can try to unlock the jelly. At least they're running this. There was a little bit where they actually weren't running this. And the good thing is that if you already have an ISS jelly, you can't see this event anymore. You can't see this event. So that's good. You know, that's a positive. It used to be that everybody could participate in the jelly event. There was a time where players could get 4 or 5 jellyfish. Is the battle triangle much of a factor anymore with the officer abilities? It does still matter, William, but it's not. I mean, like if you got max mitigation officers, then no, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters. It helps you, but it doesn't matter a ton. All that, look, here's what that does. Triangle is talking about like this, how I have accuracy bonus. That matters that I've already got highly stacked accuracy. It means it makes it me putting Kang on my ship even more likely to dominate an interceptor. So yes, the triangle matters. It's just knowing how it works and manipulating it. By itself, like if you don't use any mitigation officers, it's probably not enough. But if you are using mitigation officers, it can really help take it to the max level, like 16% mitigation for your PvP attacks. If you know, I think PvP is garbage, but I agree 100% with you on a no run it now button for armadas. Yeah, look, there's already shortened timers for here. So is there any reason to linger on level 28 before camping 29? Not really. I mean, 28 and 29 basically have all the same stuff. You get those researches you need maxed out, and then you soft camp 31, 33, then sit at 35 for a while. Because there's not a ton that you'll pick up. And soft camping doesn't mean you do it in a day, by the way. Soft camping just means maybe a few weeks, a month or so. You just don't spend a lot of time there. But if you hard camp somewhere, you're probably going to be there a significant portion of your gameplay for at least a significant portion of time. Like I camped at 39 for like a year. But I was at 40 for less than a month. I mean, I'll be at 41 for a month. And then I'll be 42 for a while. So the soft camping is just getting what you need to progress through. Now, I'll admit that the cost of 42 is very high. For example, check out going to a level 41 academy, 11.2 thousand uncommon 4-star gas. Woof. But I just wait to see the ops and the ore required, like 20,000. But you know, you slowly progress and get through there, and then a lot of events are paying out what you need to make that happen anyway. Now I got to upgrade this, and it's going to be 2,000 crystal and all that fun stuff. I do have a lot of my guns upgraded, though. I did that to get my Lorca unlocked. Now I have Lorca, so. Does Zalkirk Nero work on an auger with a defense stack under deck? Well, Define doesn't work. Do you get mitigation stack, and do you get damage increase with the Obliterator weapon? Yes, you do. That's probably not the most optimal loadout for PvP, but it definitely would work, and it would surprise a lot of people because a lot of people don't expect to see a max Zal. Yeah, Zero, 21,500. Or the good thing is, though, ISS Jelly Brawl and stuff are paying that out and scrapping ships. So should I rush from 30 to 34? Is it worthy? Generally, I would say go to 35 because you get the Franklin A and you get more research unlocked, and you're not really leaving any brackets for leaderboards. But there's not a lot at 30 for me, man. There's not a lot at 30. You can pick up your faction miner, but there's really nothing else there. Yeah, no name. It depends on the efficiency researches that you've done. And I've always stressed efficiency researches. So one of the things that I am missing that's going to hurt me is if I go to my research tree and I look at my rogue, my outlaw research, I do not have the ore building efficiency research. This is an area where it's biting me in the butt that I did not give the Stella enough love. So. What are the chances that we're going to be able to refine or get more ISO emulsion? I cannot refine it fast enough to do the territory research. Probably not. I mean, the only way that they've really added to increase that was the Meridian skin, which is $20. So it gives you an extra pull. Gives you an extra pull. I think, Richard, I'm pretty sure you can use Latinum for ship prints. I don't remember that conversion rate, but I'm pretty sure you can. There's no way for me to test it right now, but I'm pretty sure you can. It's been a long time since I've looked into that. Pretty sure there is a fact, because it's not ship blueprints that you can use on Latinum, but you can get faction credits for Latinum, but I do not remember that conversion rate. I'm pretty sure you can do Latinum to faction credit. It was something ridiculous, though. And I could be wrong, honestly. I don't remember. I could be wrong there. I love what they did with the Meridian. It was a dumpster fire prior to the new tech. I wouldn't say it was a dumpster fire. It was just annoying. I don't want to call it a dumpster fire. It was just annoying. But it is much better now. Let me go ahead and start doing some of these. Got to get these dailies in. Thank you, Biggest Woody. Yeah. It is. Cool. You can, but the cost is big. I thought so. Bogdan says about 6,000 faction credits would be about 300,000 Latinum. So obviously not something that you'd want to dump a lot into. I thought it was something ridiculous, but I have no way to check it. You can do independent credits too. Yeah, but that is also... I knew the independent credits one, but that conversion rate is awful. Ooh, another scout. What is the best rep for Rogue? I don't necessarily agree with never maxing Rogue. The annoying thing about Rogue, here's why people say that. The annoying thing about Rogue is that it actually gets less efficient as you level up. Like, it costs you more to get stuff. Like, it cost me 6,300 to unlock one rare goo chest, and I get 1,900. The one before was like 4,000 for 1,800. So it gets less efficient as you level up, which is really annoying. But you do eventually want to get your rep maxed out, because you do want to max out that tree at some point. Like I said, I definitely admit that I slacked on that and I shouldn't have. But that is the issue for a lot of people, is the efficiency as you level up in Rogue, or as you level up in Rogue, hurts you more than it helps, it feels. There's an upcoming leaderboard called Glory to You, and you score earning Klingon credits. How do you earn Klingon credits other than dailies? So dailies, you have the Vidar pull that you can do. And then there are some events that have been paying it out. The only thing go with Rogue is the officers pull at max. Yeah, that one is decent, but I don't ever pull Rogue officers anyway. Allows you to max and scrap Stella's faster because more payout, even the efficiency is lower. True, Draco, but then again, you're talking to a lot of players who, one, don't even have a second Stella and can't get the first one maxed anyway. There's a big issue with the average player not being able to even access a lot of the Stella stuff. Now, Draco, you were around at the original Stella launch, and like me, you've got multiple Stellas, and you've already scrapped multiple max Stellas, which helps you get through the really hard brunt of the early grind. But that first few months of Stella grind is absolutely terrible. And when you've only got one Stella, it's even worse. And until the game makes it easier for you to source a Stella, that's the issue I run into with most of the people who watch my channel, is one, they either have a Stella and they've only got one, or they're struggling to get the first Stella maxed out to then scrap it. Yeah, Draco, what you really need, what benefits the most, and we used to do this with Franklin's, and if you're listening, I encourage your alliance to do this if they're willing. The best thing that you can do for your players is, one, let them hunt your overprotected Franklins. And what I mean by that is, if y'all have got like an allied alliance, you let them hunt overprotected Franklins to give modulators to your low-level players so they can get that Franklin maxed quickly. And then you give free keys to allied members. So like you go load up a Stella with keys and let somebody blow it up so they can get the keys. And then the third thing you can do is, as your alliance, run big armadas and bring in a noob so they can get keys, or they can get the credits. If you do that, you're going to help those players exponentially. I mean, you're talking about a Norma Stella grind taking you months to cutting that time in half if they're being able to be given all that stuff. Because here's another thing that sucks with the Stella. The directives rep and credits that you would use goes from like 28,000 to 58,000 when you reach known associate. But the amount that you're getting in return doesn't really increase at all in terms of rep, in terms of directives and stuff. So if you're having an alliance help carry you and you're having friends help load you up, it'll help offset the pain of that growth. And yeah, Funas, if you buy one before you get your free one, you will not get the free one. That said, that's actually an improvement. Funas, I don't know if you know this. I don't know how long you've been playing, but you used to not be able to grind out the Stella for free through the faction store at all. That's new. That's actually only several months old now. The Stella originally was you got it in the event, and then you had to go through event stores, which could be every 4 to 6 months. So it would take you at minimum almost a year to free to play unlock a Stella. It was awful. Absolutely terrible. It really doesn't seem worth buying the push for rogue rep beyond a certain point. Well, like as Draco said, there is a lot better return for your actual scrapping of the Stella. So you do want to get there, but there is a balance, I think, to be found between like how far you're into the research tree and how easily you can max out your Stellas and how quickly you can get in terms of the next one out, back up, upgrading your second one, etc. And that balance kind of has to be found in your own gameplay. Yeah, John, you can get the first Stella through 3 for free through the faction store, the Stella, the Rogue faction store. But if the game is set up to where it's only going to give you that set of BPs for free. If it sees that you have a Stella, it stops offering it to you, even if you've not collected a full Stella. So if you were in that Rogue tree and you're 10 BPs away from a free Stella, and then you went and bought another Stella thinking, hey, I'm going to buy one and then get my free one, you now lost your ability to get the free one. Because the game is simply reading, do you have a Stella? So you get the free one first. Don't spend money. And if you want to buy a second Stella, I will tell you, buying a second Stella will greatly improve and increase the rate in which you progress in the Rogue faction store. But you got to get that free one first. Kevin says, I did it in stages. I scrapped at 4, then at 5, and now doing tier 7. That's how I did it. Because the big starter is the blue goo. And you need blue goo or the rares to get to tier 5. Once you get there, you go from getting about 1,500 Stella particles in a scrap to getting like 10,000 Stella particles in a scrap, going from tier 4 to tier 5. So you want to be able to get there, but if you can't get to tier 5, don't worry about it. But you get to a point where if you can do rare goo, you do not want to scrap below tier 5 at a minimum. You want to get to tier 5 because the efficiency of what you're getting in return just improves as you're leveling up. And then if you can start scrapping with epics, you kind of want to start doing that at tier 7-ish. And then eventually you're scrapping tier 9 at the end of your research tree. Yeah, Zero. So like my main Stella only costs epic to unlock. So that makes doing the second one easy because now all my uncommon and all my rare can go to the second Stella. Eric says I only scrap max Stellas. It's much better. It is if you can afford to do that and if you're at a point where it's efficient for you to get enough of that. I'll be honest, my alliance does not run enough armadas for me to be able to consistently do that. Seems worth waiting to scrap at tier 6. If you, like I said, Douglas, we're getting into a what's efficient for you argument. Obviously, the higher you take the Stella, the better it is. Better it is to scrap it because it grows like exponentially from tier 4 to tier 5 to tier 6 to tier 7 then to max and etc. But not everybody can reasonably get a Stella to tier 6 in a reasonable amount of time to scrap it. Like I can get mine to tier 5 every week pretty easily. You just got your Stella back to tier 9 after scrapping at max. Nice, Green Lab. Alzbeta says I scrap at tier 5, only have 1 Stella, but I'm also level 30. There you go. See, it's all about multiple paradigms. What level are you? How deep are you in the research? What can you realistically afford to do with your alliance? All this has to come into mind. And it's also one of the reasons that I hate the Stella so much. This is way too much thought and way too much work that has to go into a specialty ship. That's why this is exactly why I hate the Stella, because it's not easy. The Franklin, easy. Get your Franklin, max it out, scrap it at tier 9 level 41, get a Franklin A, repeat the process. Easy, simple, no overthinking it. The Stella, man, what's more efficient for me to do this at this level, than this level, than this level, than this research has to be completed before I do this. It's a pain in the butt. That's why I hate it so much. I hate it so much, but it's needed. I mean, it greatly helps your gameplay. The USS Sidetrack, that's a great way to think about it, except it's not a Federation ship. But I do like that thought process, Funis. I like where you're going with that. You level up your second Stella, your tree is falling behind. Yeah. You'll make your Stella really strong out of the box, faster leveling and better chances to get a spot in Armada. Well, Green, my alliance doesn't care. It's all about first come, first serve, who calls it. But every alliance is different. Yeah, Kevin, you should not need a spreadsheet to decide what you're doing with your Stella. That's too much work, in my opinion. And for what it's worth, the game agrees. The game agrees the Stella's too much work. And you can tell by the fact that they don't make research trees like that anymore. They don't do that. They heard the complaints of the Stella being too damn grindy and were like, yeah, we get you. We're not going to do that again. Now, they're not going to go back and fix it, but they're not going to make the next one as bad. Would you have people calling for on the Armadas? Yeah, that happens, Green. I'm not saying it doesn't. Just, depends on your alliance and what y'all decide to do. Can you push or reduce the requirements? I mean, you can push, but it ain't going to happen, Edwin. They do not revisit old stuff like that. They do not go revisit entire old faction layouts. It's just, they've never revisited the Augment faction ever. And there's so many ways that the Augment faction could be better. The only thing they got done here is when they added new officers. They have not redone the efficiencies or anything here. I mean, hell, they still offer buying the crappy hijacks in here. I mean, you tier your second and scrap it once it reaches the goo level my main no longer needs. Yeah, that makes sense, of course. You're scrapping what, around tier 6? Tom says BevCon, Gorkon, awesome Eclipse Armada crew. It is good, yeah. That depends entirely on research, though, Tom. That crew will not be as good as, like, 5 Kirk Spock for me, because I don't have near as much research as you probably do. I've only got an M score of 17. Are the rogue or augment officers any good except the epics? I mean, they have uses. Good is a relative term. I mean, they work, and they have particular instances where they're good, but I mainly just pull the officers so I can get transporter patterns. I like the Disco Edition and Cosmic. Got 30 blueprints last Cosmic. Going to get my last 20 this week. There you go. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that was something that we pushed hard for, and DJ announced in his video, so I didn't put it in any of mine. But, yeah, getting the Disco added to Cosmic Cleanup was great. It's great. At my level, I use Con Auto K to crack bases. Yeah, the Augment crew is the best, especially lower level base cracking crew there is. It's funny, I took advice from you in a vid about the Stella, and now I'm near double the M score than you. Well, Kevin, look, just because my game is not always to where it needs to be doesn't mean the advice I give is bad. I mean, I understand and respect how good the Stella can be, and I feel like I give good Stella advice. At the same time, that doesn't mean I have time to go devote all that to the Stella right now. Like right now, I'm grinding dailies and doing missions. So I'm not working on getting more keys to go put in my Stella, which I need to do. A lot of my gameplay time is spent working with y'all one-on-one. And yeah, exactly. Do as I say, not as I do. Because look, if I have a level 53 player come to me, and this happened yesterday, saying, hey, what hostile grinding crew do you recommend? I can't tell them based on experience. I can only tell them based on studying the game. So, you know, and what I'll do in those cases is that I'll say, hey, this works based on this ship. So if you got a Pilum or a Newton or a Corvus, like there is a loadout that a friend of mine loves to use on his Corvus, which is Beverly, Geordie LaForge, and these are high level Beverly, Geordie LaForge, and then 5 of 10 on their Corvus. And that's what they hunt 53 pluses with. So it depends on so many different factors. There's no way for me to have every hands-on experience in the game. Was more of a compliment. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it, Kevin. I really do. Would like to see the devs remove common and uncommon from the packs when maxed. Yeah, I would. I don't necessarily want to see them removed. I would just like to see the XP you get increased. I got a disco on my level 29 account. Summoning is working without the research. Ooh, Darren, that's awesome for you. That is awesome for you. I'm very happy for you. The lucky dog. What? All right. Can you buy the disco past the 24-hour special when you first hit 21? I mean, the disco will appear in the store, the paid store, several times. Yeah. Don't worry. They're going to give you an opportunity to spend money. This game loves to let you spend money. Can you give your rankings on the Ops 53 uncommon ships, Klingon, then Romulan, then Fed? Yeah, that's probably how I would do it, Richard. Yeah. The Vorcha is my favorite, then the Corvus, and then the Northcut. I love the Vorcha, though. The reason I love the Vorcha even more than before now, impulse speed research, baby. Oh, man. Oh, man. Do you think we'll get a new ship soon? I do know about new ships coming. I can't tell you when, though. Can't tell you when. Can't tell you when. But it's kind of an obvious answer. Of course, there's going to be new ships in development. What? A failure? Damn. That was like an 80% chance. The Northcut does not even look the best, Kevin. The Northcut is the worst looking of the three, in my opinion. The Northcut looks the worst. The Vorcha looks the best, and the Corvus also looks really, really good. To be honest, I feel like the new Federation ships are the worst looking of the group. The Enterprise D looks great, but I don't really like the rare and the uncommon Fed ships in terms of looks. Ooh, I got an officer training. Heck yeah. Should let us spend money on Stella BPs. They do, Brian. Typically, if you want to buy Stella, every time there's an Apex event, so once a month, that will generally be in the store for you to buy. Hey, a critical success. Yay. Yeah, that's fine. Kevin, dude, everybody's allowed to have their opinion on what they think looks best. That's definitely a very subjective, very subjective, debate there. All right, what do I want to throw on this thing? I mean, I really need to get these merits. To me, Martok and Gowron are not worth buying. No. I will be doing videos on them soon, though. Is the Corvus a Star Trek canon ship? No. I don't believe it ever appeared in Star Trek in terms of the TV show or the movies. It did appear in the games. The Corvus is very similar to the science ship from Star Trek Armada. But it is unique in its own right. And it was approved by CBS to be created. So. Oh, can you check somewhere how old your server is? Not really, child. I mean, I can give you a rough idea how old some servers are, but 36%. I really don't want to upgrade him, though. This is a tough decision. This is a tough decision. How much I want to really throw in on this. I'll put a Hura in there. Yuki. No, I need at least 100% it. So we'll do a con. 36% is not a great chance. But. Dave, the new Klingon. So Martok and Gowron work really well. They really need to be decently tiered or maxed. And they're very specific in how they can be used. They are very, very specific. So because of that, I'm not a huge fan of them in terms of just general use. But they work really well. I mean, it's so specific how you load it out. An officer like Beverly or Zhao or 5 of 10 is generally more effective overall because they affect all mitigation types. Like Gowron and Martok will work really well if you know exactly how your opponent is going to come at you. Like if you know their PvP crew to heart, then Martok and Gowron can be really good. Not even really though at tier 1. Really though at tier 1. But they do work. It's not a problem whether they're good or bad or work. It's just, you know, they're so specific. It's really tough to use them. I'm probably going to be like Corey and use them mostly for away teams. All right, so speaking of away teams, I put this here. This here. I need as many stats as possible. Bones, I'm going to steal you because we're not PvPing right now. I need as many stats as possible. There we go. No, Winston, there's no way to source Tau right now in the game. No way to source Tau. Is there research for repair speed for ships? Yes, there is. Yeah. Hold on, let me finish these real quick. Do I have Eurydice nearby? Where's Eurydice at? She's on ship C. Isn't ship C out and about right now? It is out and about right now. So I'll save that one. What other do we have running? Definitely want to be running every 4, 8, and 12. So I got to follow my own rules. Y'all be mad if I tell y'all to do things and then I don't do them. I'll need to be hearing crap from y'all. Yuki, Mitchell. Okay. Let's see. Do our ore. Health. This is where I start just throwing random stuff. I don't know. Not Gorkon. Gorkon's useful. He doesn't get thrown out like that. There we go. What reminds me of Voyager too much, Philip? What does? This is a good one. I just don't really have the needed. Like Harry Mudd is great for this mission, but I haven't upgraded Mudd at all. But here's a sign. So like if how much do I even have right now? I have 17,000 trade XP, so that's not even getting Escape Artist maxed out, I'm pretty sure. So. But Burnham's a good one to go after. Good stats. Low orbit flyby is useful. Defense, we're just going to throw in whatever. Keenzer! I need to upgrade him. I think I actually upgrade him. I need to level him. And Tasha, who only gets used in this instance. There we go. Y'all go out there. Have fun. So I wish you could not only filter out unavailable officers, but more importantly, I wish you could sort by traits. And past that, I'm not sure if y'all know this, and I'm tempted to do this. A 50% chance is not enough. If I was to sort by defense and Bones had a trait here, it doesn't show up if they're on an away mission. It's something I've told them they need to fix. But if they're on an away mission, they do not show up as having the trait. So I never know if I need to speed up this away mission or not. I never know. I feel like that's something they should also fix and work on. Yay, got my daily done, 1100. You have a list of the best officers to build the traits for? Frank, we have the officer tool. I don't know if you've used that spreadsheet, which has obviously a Excel and Google Sheets version, but our spreadsheet has all that in it. I don't know if Stewie or Lube are here to link that, or one of the moderators can link that, but yeah, Fueled in that. I reported that as soon as I found it. I was like, yeah, this is awful. But it does not update automatically, MoFlow. No, every time a new update comes out, you have to manually do it, which is why we have the import and export section. So you can easily take everything from your previous spreadsheet and import it to the new one. But yeah, the fact that you can't see what traits apply for officers that are already out on the field really sucks. The little symbol next to your daily, Caesar, the syndicate symbol, That is showing what syndicate missions or what syndicate bonuses will apply to what missions. Even if you've not unlocked the bonus yet. Even if you've not unlocked the bonus yet. Hey, Zulu, Hell Hijack. Mihai says it shows up for you. Well, unless they've updated and didn't tell me. Which, hey, is possible. Form trade agreement I know is Eurydice, but I don't have her. Let's see. We determined Harry Mudd was this one. So I'm going to send, because Harry Mudd sucks, for me anyway. I'm going to send Harry Mudd out on something. We're going to test it real quick. Because I did report this weeks ago. So we know Harry Mudd was 3 out of 3 on the other one. So we're going to assign him. Now I'm just going to throw some random junk on here with Harry Mudd. Because I don't really care if I get this mission or not. And Gonzalez, get out there. There you go. So I'm going to throw this out with Harry Mudd. Now we know Harry Mudd is 3 for 3 on the Burnham mission. So let's see if they fixed it. Sort by attack. Nope. Doesn't show up for me. Does not show up for me. You got me kind of excited, not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, they actually listened to me and went and made a simple quality of life fix? Nope. Nope. They did not. My top 5 officers for away missions: Borg Tribble, Sharvanik, Gorkon, Carol. And this one's tough, but maybe Eurydice? But Crass is another good one. Mudd's another good one. There's several different ones. Do I have enough epic 4-star for your lap prime yet? 0, I have to go check. I actually just turned in 2 more loyalty boxes. So I need to go check. Let's go take a look. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rain. But Nero's also another good one. Yeah. So really I have a top 4 and then I have a 4 after that. Let me do my mission real quick. Of course, Frigoff. I'm here for it, buddy. Here to help you out at all times. All right, I need to go do this. There's so many things to do in this game. I do love that I can mine ISO and know that I'm not going to, if I get blown up, I'm keeping most of what I did. So I love that, though. Loving the old school reading rainbow references. Oh, dude, Moflo, I'm an old person. I'm 32 years old, so I make all the best references because I am, in fact, old. And if you're older than me, don't worry, you're not old. I'm the only old one. You're, in fact, not old. $1,500 lat a day from pool is not bad. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Like all the lat that I have, I'm going to be blowing through as soon as I'm hitting 42. Single critical gets 2 enterprise shards. Nice. Lead expedition is the best away missions for mid-30s. I don't agree. But I respect your opinion for that. I don't agree. 2 enterprise shards is not that valuable in the game. Because there's just so many ways to get them. Officers are way more important than an enterprise. Way more important. So, that's just me, though. Everybody's allowed to have their thoughts on that. There's no wrong answer. It's literally preference. What do you prefer? What's more valuable to you? If you want to farm Gladius blueprints, basically any level 34 or higher Romulan system. Doesn't matter what type either. Forbes says it is when you don't have them. Yeah, but there's so many different ways to do that. And more importantly, they've sped up faction credit acquisition. That is not something I would recommend as a focus. Can getting extra blueprints be good? Well, duh. But is that where I would focus my away teams on and focus where I'm maxing out an officer? No, would not be. And I've got an account in that range. That's not where I would focus it, but that's just me. Let me go down to that store real quick. You know, and keep in mind that I'm in the same boat y'all are, because when my rep hits there, I'll be able to go after Valdor in the away teams, but I'm still not going after that particular mission because I would rather have like active nanoprobes or faction credits. You know, that to me has got more value and more uses. Why is officers more important than your ships? There's basically no ship in the game that will last you forever. Officers will. Marcus is amazing at level 20 and level 60. 40 levels of love. Your Enterprise, at most 10 levels. At most 10 levels. Now, that could be a year, 2 years of your gameplay, but in terms of what's actually better for you, officers matter. And if you've got an Enterprise and your officers suck, it doesn't matter if you have an Enterprise. Officers and research are far more important than anything ship-wise. Douglas, yeah, that plays into it too. That definitely plays into it. It's what can you stack and what can you do efficiently. And this is going to greatly vary because officer acquisition, as we were complaining about earlier, is such a pain point in the game. You know, I managed to get full pulls on people like Marcus and stuff early on. And my Gorkon, because I always push people to do their officer pulls, like use all your early faction credits for this, I'm getting transporter patterns for all my Federation officers and Klingon officers. And if you've done that, by the time you're in the low 30s, you've got all your starter faction officers maxed. So it's really easy to then use those as stat stackers, because I never use Uhura on a ship, but I'll use her in away teams all the time. So all this is going to depend a lot on who you are and where your account is at. Now, Sharvanik obviously doesn't get counted into that, but Gorkon does. You know, like Gorkon is really easy to have max in your 30s. You have 117,000 active nanopros, but no Borg officers you can use them on. I've got some Borg officers you can use them on. Come on, let me borrow it. Let me borrow it. Level 29, please. Well, what do you need advice on, Khalil? Uhura, best person to send away? There's a lot of good away ones. Like Kirk is good for a few away missions, but obviously you're going to use Kirk on your Enterprise for a long time. Thanks, Mihai. Yeah, we'll check it later. Rare 46 ships are forever due to their built-in 5 of 11 ability. Draco, I wouldn't agree. They are right now, but even then, that's only 14 levels. That's only 14 levels. But as soon as there's more, even the Pilum's going to get left behind. Remember, the Pilum and the Newton and the Coronar, they're not the only ones that have those type of bonuses. Well, they're specific type bonus, yes, but not the only hostile focused. All the rares they make for factions seem to be hostile focused. But the Pilum is amazing. It's the best ship in the 40s. It's one of the best ships in the 50s. And nothing will change that. It's an amazing ship. I hope to have one within the next 6 months. You'll max your Gorkon when you have the faction credits Ops 32. Yep. Away missions is big for faction credit acquisition. Obviously, getting your Vidar maxed out and working through that is huge. It's doable. There's a grind, though. Let's not pretend like there's not a level of grind to everything that we're talking about. There definitely is. Are you going to update your ratings in the officer spreadsheet tool? I still think Keensner is only a 4.5. Just because we're talking about faction credits right now. I got to spend faction credits on Keensner to upgrade him. And while he does have decent stats, I would much rather those credits go. Like if we're talking about just for away teams, Carol should be getting those Federation away teams faction credits more than Keenser. Just crit mission with Eurydice, 3.5 thousand lat. That's helpful. I feel like lat is undervalued by a lot of people. You know, because as you level up, especially when you hit these common walls in the 40s, lat is one of the only ways to blow through it, especially, and sucks to be Draco, because Draco didn't get to have the awesomeness that I have. It is so much better to use Latinum on commons now than when Draco was my level. Draco was here, it was 10-1. Now it's 4-1. Oh, it's so much better. So much better. Can I grind the Burrell BPs like you said for Gladius by hitting? Yeah, I mean, you can grind Burrell BPs, but rares... Just remember the drop rate's super low there. It's something that you do like in addition to, but I need 9 pike, but how do I get it? Sadly, there's not a way to just say, hey, here's Pike, except for transporter patterns. Now, at level 29, if you followed all my advice from level 16 up, you're probably already getting transporter patterns for rare officers. And then you can use those transporter patterns to unlock the rest of what you need from Pike here. But once again, that depends on where are you even getting transporter patterns yet? Green says, I've been in Tycho Core so long I can build 7 Burrells. Wow. Yeah, that's a great place to do it. Any intel on an upgrade to the Vidar? Nope. If there was, I would have told you already. You don't have transporter patterns yet? Well, Khalil, then the only thing that you can really rely on at this point is continuing to go through your ultras, hoping for good shard pulls, and making sure you're working on maxing out your rare officers from factions and from augment so that you can get transporter patterns. Hospira says, why is maxing Vidar important if you can get nanoprobes from away missions much easier? Well, faction credits, independent credits for one. Even if the Vidar is not the main place you're getting nanoprobes, you need to be doing the independent credits every day. And I can get 600 faction credits every day with a maxed Vidar. So if for no other reason than credits, you need to get it. But you still, trust me, the away teams, which is probably the best way to get active nanoprobes, I still pull for active nanoprobes every day. Please do not forget that you need millions of active nanoprobes. Millions. Millions. So because this is dependent on the tier of your, see the very top? This is dependent on the tier of your Vidar. You need to max this out. Discovery is the same way. You need to max out the Discovery. You need to max out your Vidar. You need to max out your Franklin. Everything gets better when you max the specialty ships out. I have Chin, but it needs 1,000 faction credits to promote. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes. Chin is one of the most important officers to get maxed. Yes, yes, yes. Will there ever be a way to get spore drop components as a daily challenge? Unlikely. Just your refinery. Just your refinery. Do I have another? Why are these missions always want me to kill random numbers of hostiles? Just let me get through the daggum mission. Goodness. Are the 4-star miners worth it or stick with 3-star? Personally, and Harley, another content creator, disagrees. I stick with the 3-star miners. When you get to the mid to late 40s, picking up the 4-star miners is good. Draco has a good opinion here, I think. But Draco can probably add in. But I think that cost and everything, I would dump into the 3-star miners more than I would the 4-star. Now that many more warp range systems added with 50 to 60 being added, do you think they need to add research and discovery to raise the max limit? Maybe. There are so few players that argument applies to, though, Richard. You and Draco probably the only people in chat who that applies to. Probably the only people in chat who that applies to. I mean, I do agree that they've got like Warp 500 now, and it would be nice for the Discovery to be able to reach all of that. So yes, but that affects so few players. You're better off making that suggestion in the VIP room, probably. Yeah, Draco, exactly what I was saying. 4-star miners are good once you get to Ops 45/46 and your reputation is higher. Exactly what I was thinking. Just built the Burrell and got to tier 4. What would be a good PvP crew? James, you know good and well I can't answer that question without knowing your officers. No clue. I'm going to tell you something stupid. Kinsner, Carroll, and Mbenga. Hit me up individually if you own officers for your ships. Yep, Draco. Yep. Technically, you can get it a little bit higher because it is an Explorer and you could use TOS Scotty and stuff. But Scopely is giving Fed cloaking. Is there any chance they give something like anti-cloaking? That's been discussed. So I think you'll get some form of like Tetrion scanner or something at some point. But you just got a research that helps with that. I don't know if you noticed, Aditya, but there's a research that helps with it. Let me hit another hostile so I can show you the research. The research that helps with determining cloaking is in your territory tree. And it is called... Wait, is it in territory tree? Yeah. Cloaking beacons. Cloaking beacons. The maximum of a 30% chance. Yeah, I'm aware of Tomb. I'm aware of Tomb. Ooh. Oh, man. Hey, be jealous, Draco. Hey, Draco, look at this. Be jealous. I mean, obviously, you could still do this, but you didn't get to do this level 41. Ha ha! Look at that. Ah, ha ha. Look at it. Ah! Look at it. Ha ha. You didn't get to do that. I do, though. This literally would have cost almost 80,000 Latinum before. This would have been 80,000 Latinum before. God, it's so much nicer now. So much nicer now. Yeah, the TOS crew would be better, Benjamin, for the Burrell. But without knowing their crews, I'm not giving advice so they come back and say, hey, that sucked. Oh, man. Very jealous. My 51.2 million Latinum is crying. Dang it, Draco, don't rub your richness in my face. You know good and well you complained about it when it was 10-1 back in the day. Back in the day. You hated it. Oh, man. I'm almost tri-locked and I don't have any epics. What should be my next target? Well, if you're tri-locked, getting an epic could be a target because it's going to be really tough to grind to 1 billion without an epic ship. I know you did, Draco. That's why I pointed it out. You and your 51 million Latinum. Oh, it's good to have you here, Draco, man. I appreciate it. How many uncommon G4 ore do you have? Like 20-something thousand. And I'm waiting for this next Jelly Brawl to help push it. Push it to the limit. Draco, you went to 50, didn't you? Draco, you've gone to 50, haven't you? We have quite a few whales that'll be here in Lurker, and some of them will talk. Oh, it's 52. Jesus, you went higher than the last time I've checked up on you. So you're 52 now. Richard, aren't you 53? Hit you up a Discord if you don't mind. Yeah, James, of course. Discord or Facebook, either one. I'm happy to give out advice. Officers have gotten to a point where there's literally 150 of them things, and you can't just give out generic advice anymore. Man, I miss the days of 2019 where I could just say, yeah, put Bones Kirk Spock on your salad and man, you'll kill everything. 51? Damn, I was off. But the old school people remember those days where you just put Max Bones Kirk Spock on a salad and just beat everything. Those days are over. Those days are long gone. 12 out of 22. I'll go to 53 and build the Nova and the Corvus. Nice. Nice. Then Richard's going to come through and one-shot my base with that Nova and take 20 million dilithium from me. Wish we could get the TOS crew easier. I mean, I agree. They did actually add them into the Ultras, which I guess I appreciate. Lorca, Killy, Honor Guard, Wharf. Love that crew. However, you no longer need it to be Lorca. It can be Gorkon. A lot of people wouldn't use Killy because Gorkon wasn't good enough for them. Now you can use Gorkon or Lorca. 190 million from ROM Leader. Very nice, Richard. Very nice. Is Sulu better than Arcadi for an early 20s morale crew? To be completely honest with you, I wouldn't even bother with either one of those as an Armada leader. With the update to morale, Sulu, I think, is better. I'll be honest, I haven't run that old school crew in a while. But short answer is get Kirk. Short answer is get Kirk. Is there some sort of block to getting 511? I'm doing daily pulls. I'm not getting a single shard. There is no block, Jonathan. However, and we talked about this earlier, there is currently... Scopely is polling people to get their opinion, which we know what the opinion is going to be, on what officers to add to transporter patterns, and 5 of 10/5 of 11 is leading that discussion, which is not surprising. So, and that is the Discord poll. It's in the official Discord, by the way, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. in the official Discord. Yeah, I'm not adding you. Somebody sent me a friend request named Poop Bum. Nope. So they'll go in reverse order of the poll. God, I hope not, Crush. But the current poll means they would put Epic Troy in there first if they go in reverse order. Reverse order would be Epic Troy, then Borg Triple, then Riker, then 5. Currently, 5 of 11 is only winning by 3,000. So 5 of 11 is at 7,600 and Borg Riker is at 4,200. Yeah, I know they will at some point, Harmonica Luke, because they've actually had a discussion with me about adding... They had a discussion with me about adding her 8 months ago. So they've considered it for a while. Just, you know, they don't do anything quickly. What the heck? Wait, what? How did that count as a separatist hostile? Y'all see that? That mission boss just counted as a separatist hostile. What the heck? What weird copy and... I said Borg Riker? Well, ignore that. That's not real, obviously. I was rambling off about other Borg officers. Regular Riker. Y'all see that? The heck? That was... This game and its glitchies. They copy and pasted a separatist hostile as a mission boss. What's up, Ando? How you doing, man? Thank you, Reading Rainbow, for giving us LeVar Burton. Sir Roots and Star Trek would like to have a word with you. Yeah. Count that as a level 1 normal hostile. Rippity doodah, rippity day. Lurking? That's cool, Ando. Hey, did you finish Klingon Rights yet? Did you finish Klingon Rights, Ando? Get my tickets and syndicate XPs. Yeah, I'm aware of T-Rex, but we know that man from one place. Star Trek. Reading Rainbow came out before TNG? Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know Reading Rainbow was out that long. Floating warship free PD. I mean, I'd have to drop my shield, but I guess it might be worth it. I haven't picked up some PD since yesterday. Would love if a special splash video of congratulations would come with when you get 10 million faction lock. Yeah. Me too. How about the 1 billion lock or the 15 billion lock? Right now, I'm basically just rep grinding. 1983 to 2006. Wow. I had no idea. I truly had no clue. Any thoughts on the value of Syndicate XP pack from the multiphasic store? Now keep in mind, level based. Does this have value? Short answer, yes. Just because Syndicate has so much good stuff in it. Short answer, yes, I like it. Just want to show people what it was. Can you beg the Overlords for 15 Jayla shards? Hey, Sapphire, just go run some Armadas. It's like a 10% unlock rate. It's like a 10% drop rate if you run the Armada. He's received 12 daytime Emmys? What? Jeez, T-Rex. Man, I feel like a complete idiot. I had no idea. That is so cool. So cool. It's not a lot of rep. Doesn't mean if it doesn't matter if it's a lot zero. If you go spend $100, you only get 17,000. So when you're trying to get through these early levels and get these new bonuses, yeah, go for it. What's up, Gregory? How you doing? Your colony, just up ahead. Yeah. Oh, he left. No more bad guy. He saw my Enterprise and was like, heck no. Yeah. Uncommons are... I think y'all knew what I was referring to, Luke. I think you knew what I was referring to. Do you see any chance of getting an event store for Christmas? I do. I don't think it'll be a fully fleshed out event store, but I do think that we will get one, yeah. I think they're going to get something for Christmas. What's this officer preset in the store about? That's just an extra officer preset. So it's basically like how you can buy an extra away team mission. You can buy an extra officer preset slot. Now, something I'd personally recommend. You're a youngster, so we'll forgive you. Well, thank you so much, Garvin. That's very kind of you. Normally, people get mad when you're ignorant. But y'all are so gracious and merciful. I'm lucky to be your content creator. Truly am. It's a blessing. 'Tis a blessing. They're giving out chests of Stella coal. Yikes. I was very disappointed at the start of the battle pass. We didn't get ES. ES? What you talking about ES? What do you mean no music? There's music playing in the background. It's just very low. See? Now that I just blew out your speakers. Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, we basically told you there's no event store because this is not the final month of Duality. It's not the final month of Duality. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, I can hear it, but I purposely keep it pretty low, so. Merry Christmas, Q. Your dedication is one of the things that makes you a great content creator. Well, thank you, Steph. I mean, I try to be entertaining here and on Twitch. And just to go ahead and plug that again if y'all haven't seen it. Because I will be streaming Christmas Eve on Twitch. Hint about the next month, more Duality. Well, I mean, Edwin, sure, I guess if I'm breaking the news to you, yeah, there is more Duality coming. It's kind of obvious because we don't have an event store this month. So obviously there's another one. There's always an event store to wrap up an arc. Remember that. There's always an event store to wrap up an arc. If we haven't had an event store, arc not done. Christmas, we received 5 shards of 2 to 3 epic officers. I'll be honest, I wouldn't complain about that. I wouldn't. I would actually like that. North Star and event store would be good. I mean, we can make that request. Do you think the 3rd researcher is worth it? I bought it. They saw me on stream buy it. So yeah. If you're willing to spend money in the game, that's a good $20 to spend. When will we have another chance of Stella? I'm hoping a Christmas event store that focuses on the Duality stuff will let you do that. You hate just how little there is for new servers to do in the arc. Don't worry, Joseph. You level through really fast. You level through so fast. I mean, it takes a couple months to get into the deep 20s. It doesn't take long at all anymore. So while I definitely hear your frustrations and they're very legit, yeah. Don't worry. Soon the sun will shine. With research, my Enterprise is almost 4 million at tier 6, with the last upgrade needing 9,000 uncommon gas. I've maxed almost every research in buildings I can, level 39. Go to 40 or wait. Do you have an ISS jelly? If you do not, wait. You want that ISS jelly. And honestly, I'd say this. Oh, my auger went poof. If you happen to be wanting to go to 42, because and the other people who are in the 40s can say this. There's really no point in level 40 or 41. There's really nothing there. So would recommend you being able to jump to 42. You're really going to want ISS Jelly Brawl for that. That really helps that out. You're really going to want the ISS Jelly Brawl for that. Draco says Syndicate is a huge win for us whales, so I'm sure it's a good win for lower level guys too. The scrapyard boost is pretty righteous. Honestly, I think the Syndicate's great for everybody. I really do. I really do. You only have 39 of the 120 BP for jelly. Well, you better get to camping and get to unlocking. Better get to camping and get to unlocking. You wish Picard was in transporter patterns? Me too. 5 of 11 is probably the next one that we have in transporter patterns. At least it should be based on their own poll. 41 isn't bad, but 42 is better. There's really no point at 41 either. I mean, 42... it's a much better spot. At Ops 28, our weekly, monthly chest scaling. Should I wait for redeeming them? Are you talking about the loyalty chest with the photon tokens? Yes, they do scale and get better. So for example, here's my 30-day. Now, you will have some things that stay the same, like the Devore. Carol's always the epic officer. But everything in there will continue to increase as you level up. So, like a lot of people at 39 will save theirs until 40 so they can start getting the epics in there. 41 is only better than 39 if you're ready for the 40s zero. Like if you are not ready for the 40s, like you got a tier 5 epic, you have no ISS jelly, you haven't finished research, then being 41 is not better than being 39. It's sometimes better to be level 39 than it is to be a higher level. And docking complete. Go put this thing out. Ever since I got all this protected cargo, I'm just loading up on Rawls again. Oh, you can't see it because of the house fund. Let's get Sloppy to add Marcus to 30-day. Yes, let's do that. Right now I'm off 31. What level do you suggest stopping camp? 35. I mean, 31, just complete what you got to do and keep moving. How's the house hunt going? I'm not really hardcore starting that until I file my taxes. So 5 came during the Vidar arc. Mud officers came with the Stella. It's easier to mix mud officers than 5 of 11. What you talking about, Ando? What you talking about? Finally caught up with turning in your 7 days. Ended up with 51 photon tokens. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Got a whole year's worth waiting. Oh, it is easier to max mud officers, yes. On the flip side of that, Ando, 5 is better than almost every mud officer from the beginning. Charles, I still hunt OPC, but I have noticed that being less common. Yeah. The thing is, though, the Meridian still mines super fast. So you can still catch an OPC. They're just going to be able to keep more, which is fine. I think that actually is great. If I hit somebody and they're 300,000 cargo and they get to keep 150,000 of it, I think that's fair for both of us. I like that. I like that. To mention in one podcast, there's no excuse to not have disco if you're 28 plus. Well, in me, I'm not sure if you are aware, they've added the discovery to Cosmic Cleanup. So now every Saturday during event months, you can work on getting the discovery. So my point stays the same. Get that discovery. Think they should replace Khan with J-Lo on Swarm Sundays? That'll never happen. But Khan, it is, yeah, I get what you're saying. I do. Massively busy work day, but want to check in with you to say keep it up. Your work is great. Thank you. Love the Klingon Rights event structure. Same, and we'll be passing along that feedback. Don't forget, everybody, that we will be streaming tonight on Twitch if you haven't joined that already. I'm going to plug the Discord. And yeah, if y'all want to help support the house fund, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App not required, but is definitely appreciated. And just being here is appreciated. I do want to say real quick, there's 320 people watching. Only 58 people have liked the video. Why don't you help me out? Like the video. YouTube thinks y'all love me more when you hit the like button, so I'd appreciate it if y'all do that. And Ed, what do you mean good morning, dude? It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you lazy bum. Get a job. Jesus, get a job. Lazy bum. Oh, we are going to be wrapping it up here in a couple minutes, so whatever last minute questions y'all have, throw them in. I've got to get ready for some other stuff that I'm doing today, and then of course the stream tonight. So what other questions, comments y'all have, let's get them in where we can fit them in. Yeah, Nicholas, that was something we really pushed for. So do you like so much click tabs for the dailies for Syndicate? One of the things that I've asked is for the daily Syndicate tab to get added to the daily box. I don't know if they'll do it, but I did ask for that because I think it's inconvenient and tough to remember. And honestly, I have the same problem with exocomps. You know, sometimes I'll forget to go claim exocomps because it's sitting over here. So I'll do that right now. But that's definitely some feedback they've gotten from a lot of people. Not a like button on your screen? That's weird. Well, I don't know what this is due. So, what website is good information source for STFC ship costs? STFC.space. STFC.space. What to get after prime officers? The Borg primes, if you can. And after that, prime Stella efficiency. And then the prime ore, prime gas, prime crystal. Exactly, Prickly Poo. Exactly. And that is not something you want to be forgetting. Can we get more high-ranking ROM armadas? I doubt that. Why do fools fall in love? I don't know, Deuce as well. That's a good question. Glad to have caught the stream. Have a good day and keep up the exceptional work. Thank you so much, Aiden. I appreciate it. Did you check Prime Lat? I have not. Prime Lat. Let's go take a look if I've got enough epics for that. Let's see. Prime Lat? I do not. I'm still 100 away. It's going to be a while. Would you get G4 and a ton of steel thrown on top, so wouldn't it be better to camp 41 step throw down? No, Haley, not at all. Anybody that says that does not know how this game works. No. Because you're not... Look, oh God, no. You got to get those efficiencies done. You will save so much resources and uncommons. You need to do efficiencies. You're going to blow through so many uncommons on buildings and docks and all that getting to 41 and 42. You need to max out the things that you need at 39. I will sit and die on that hill, and y'all can argue with your mother if you don't agree. You need to get the ISS jelly. You need to be doing Parabellum. You need to be doing Jelly Brawl. You need to be maxing out everything that has the word pure or efficiency attached to it. All that needs to be done before you go to the 40s. Or you're going to be very slugged down in the 40s. Forgot to use exocomps. Return to ship. Yeah, remember your exocomps only work if you're in the base first. Oh, cool. We finished out this one. Great. Awesome. About to scrap a legionary? Yeah, that's great. I recommend scrapping 2 of each. DJ said 1 of each in the video, but I do 2 of each. You know anything about the Ultra Recruit event? Yes, but I don't think we're cleared to release the details. I'll have to ask them if I'm allowed to talk about that. I don't remember if I am or not. They don't a lot of times like us talking about the mechanics of upcoming events. Is there going to be auto complete the daily goals points like events? No. Can you get the primes you've mentioned just then at Ops 39 free to play? You can through scrapping. Yep. Almost every prime I have, I've gotten through scrapping. Almost every prime I have, I've gotten through scrapping. I do not, graduated. I do not. Can't scrap anything right now. You're low on gas. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a struggle for a lot of people, but you know, it's doable. This game is not a game that you can progress through things quickly. No. The last one. Oh wow, you're right. My bad. I thought when I collected the Galron shards, that was it. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. all exocomps need to be, they work the same way that research does. Everything has to be in doc for it to apply. So like if you did a new research for your enterprise, you did an explorer research out of doc, it does not apply to your enterprise until you redoc. You've got to doc. Unless they made a change to that specifically for exocomps, or it's the exact same way that research does, because the exocomps are basically the research mechanic copy and pasted. You have got to doc for anything to apply. And thank you for whoever reminded me. I've already forgot who did it. Thank you. James, thank you. I would have completely just like lost that. Boop, 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 boop. And just to make sure, yay, now we're done. I have 2 prime refines, but seem to get as much uncommon ore from non-prime refinery. Is it worth spending 70 plus dill on? I think it is, Steph. I mean, we've tracked it with multiple players that you do get more. You just don't get a lot more, but you do get more. Will we get both Gowron and Martok with no more than a battle pass purchase? Yes. Yes. That's assuming you've purchased the premium battle pass. So, I mean, if you've purchased the premium battle pass, you'll very obviously get Gowron. But Martok, I'm about halfway there. Will also depend on where you're placing in some of the events, but pretty sure most people will get both of them. So, you prefer Lorca over Gorkon because Saladin is your main ship, so the hull breach applies before the big gunfires. That's a very fair argument, Mark. Very fair argument. You got so accustomed to not using exocomps that I didn't use the exocomp for the Raj mission. RIP. Do you know what determines how many Tetrion particles were given per day? Level. Yeah. They just don't give a lot. And also the ship determines what it is. So like 26s cost 25 to cloak, then 30, then 35, then 40, then 45, then 50. Cloak cost goes up. Back on efficiency, if your levels are high enough, you can double dip because they always pay you the amount needed before research. Here you go. All right, so I'm going to wrap up the stream for the day. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And I will be live tonight on Twitch. If y'all haven't joined Twitch, I'd encourage you to. We're going to play Star Trek Fleet Command. Maybe do even a little bit of Dead by Daylight. I haven't decided, but it's been a fun game we've been playing together. And of course, Stream Raiders and everything else. Appreciate everybody for hanging out today. Appreciate y'all's time. Appreciate y'all loving on me. Appreciate y'all supporting me because I sure as heck can't do it without y'all. And the baby can't happen and the house can't happen without y'all. So y'all are amazing. Live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces. That's me. And I'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully we'll have the dev Q&A answered very, very soon. So be looking out for it.